And also because I have some links to share today's meeting topic.
Yeah, it's running on YouTube.
It is? Okay, I don't see it yet. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I got it now. Better mute it. Okay. All right. Before we pretend to get work done, I mean, before we start working, I have some links I want to share, which are actually just the ones that you shared with us before on Spec 3 resources. Oops. Okay. This has a lot of, since people haven't joined yet. Well, I mean, I know that, sorry, I know that you count Rashid. He's not people, he doesn't count. I just want to add a few links that'll be useful to folks joining in the YouTube channel in case people are following along later. I know that Jonas is on vacation. Is Sergio on vacation as well, I think? Is that true, Lucas?
Sergio is also on vacation for this week. Jonas for 3 weeks, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I made a lot of jokes.
In Polish, it's yes, and in Bulgarian, yes. That's how we do it in Bulgarian.
This is yes?
Yeah, this is in Bulgari, they do yes, which is super confusing.
I know.
Okay. Since we are live, in case we have millions of viewers somewhere out there, just letting everybody know, this is our second open community meeting specifically for specification 3 documentation. So this is exciting. Thank you, Lucas, for joining us, because I know you always have a lot to do. So it means a lot to have you join us today and other meetings. I expect to see you in the next ones. And I'm really excited to see Arya. Hey, Arya, how are you doing today? Oh, I don't know if you can hear me. Maybe he's still connecting. Okay, we'll give him a chance to connect. You are on mute now, just in case that matters. No, we cannot hear you. You're a ghost. We have no idea where you are. And for folks who haven't met Arya yet, we should welcome him because he just got accepted for the mentorship program. So he's actually going to be onboarding as a technical writer for the mentorship program. And we should give him a special call out because he had applied for Google Season of Docs, didn't quite make it through the application phase, reached out, he asked me for feedback. He wanted to understand why he didn't make it. And so I gave him feedback, and he had just such an amazing attitude. He took my feedback and he applied it to his application to the mentorship program. And he went from here to all the way here. Huge improvement in his application. And he did amazing in his interview, lovely interview. So we're very lucky and excited to have Arya. And I don't know about everybody else, but I plan to fully exploit you, Arya, like as much as I can for the next 6 months. Yay, he's excited about you see how good I am at... Oh, what? Sorry,
I said he's gonna have a blast.
Lucas, you see how good I am at brainwashing the people?
Yeah, but you know that publicly they have no choice. They have to be happy and smile.
I mean, you know, you are allowed to speak, Arya. You know, you don't have to, drop down everything by text. You are allowed to open your mic.
Oh, I think he's struggling with his audio connection. So trying to fix his microphone. Yeah. All right.
Also,
well,
on that note, actually, another friend of mine got into the mentorship program. He's
Oh, yeah?
working with Pan on the design issue, the only design issue in the entire mentorship program. So yeah, I'm really happy for him too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I had no idea. I'm definitely not involved in the design stuff. You don't want me involved in the design stuff. So you want someone who actually is good at
I don't
design.
think anybody wants to involved in design stuff, Alejandra.
Well, the designers do, the ones who actually are good at designing, the ones who actually know what they're doing. Yes, Lucas, design, #design is my passion. So since it is a few minutes in, and it looks like we might not have as many people joining, but I feel like that's a good opportunity for Rohit and Arya to start throwing us specific questions, or Lucas, because I don't think I'll be answering your specific Spec 3 questions. I think that'll be Lucas. So what I would like to do to be as efficient and helpful as possible is, if you have a specific Spec 3 doc question you already know you want to ask about your work or your pull request, please go ahead and pull it up, drop the link, and we should be able to, can they have the option to also screen share us what they want to show us through, Lucas?
Yeah, you just have to, like, if somebody wants to share in the list of the participants, you have this more menu, and you can make someone co-host.
Okay, Rohit, do you have something you'd like to walk us through? Should I make you co-host so you can screen share a question?
Actually, I don't have any questions for today's meeting. It's just that the migration guide and the release notes that you provided us with, and Lucas left in the thread a couple of days ago, were actually really helpful. Like with the issues that I'm currently working on, they have a lot of information related to them. Of course, I might still have some blankets here and there, but as of now, I haven't hit them. So I don't really have a specific question as of now. Yeah.
All right, well, that's good news for Lucas. I'm sure he's excited. I know Arya's struggling to log in. I don't think he's going to have much questions today because he hasn't even started the program yet, so he probably doesn't have questions yet. And I don't think I know Alex or Benjamin Rukundo. Are they Spec contributors? Is that who you folks are?
No, not really. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm actually not a contributor. I'm just a normal contributor in community, especially on the website side. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're a new contributor.
Not really new. I've been around for about 4 to 3 months. Around that's the time I've been part of the community. Yeah.
I'll still call you a little newish.
Yeah, no problem.
Quick question. Are you curious to pick up documentation contributions related to Spec 3? Is that why you're on the call?
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy to get to know more about the spec docs and how I can contribute to them too. Yeah.
Well, actually, on that point, since we don't have questions right away today, I have an answer for you. So we actually now, if you go to the website and you search for documentation issues that say good first issue, and I've assigned myself because I want to be a co-assignee so that it'll help me keep better track of notifications. So it'll be easier for you to identify which are the ones related to Spec 3. And you can already see that we have all of these ready to be picked up. This is all updates related to Spec 3 changes. And let me drop the link as well in our, well, I can do it in the Zoom chat, but I'm also going to put it in Slack, which is where I was making the announcement of the meeting. And this way, anyone who wants this can click on the link here as well. So here in the docs channel where I announced the meeting, I'm dropping the link to all of these Spec 3 issues that are all good first issues. So Benjamin, here we are,
Yeah.
ready for you.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to explore.
Good. And also, which I think this will be helpful for everybody else, and I shared these links earlier on YouTube, but Lucas was sharing with us the other day the best 3 links that we have for being aware of the differences between Spec 3 and 2. And so I'm also going to drop in the 3 links in the chat, because Benjamin and anyone else who's new and starting contributions, you're definitely going to want to understand all the huge changes that come with V3. It's very different from V2. So if you start writing documentation now only based on what is in our live docs, it's likely to be wrong, because our current docs are still reflecting the current version, which is still, V2.6. I specifically want to open up this link and call it out. It seems like a good time for that. Notice how there is an extensive migration guide with this very, very beautiful diagram contribution. And so here we have both a really deep, a lot of details and code snippets showing us the difference between, hey, look, this is what you can configure now in V3 versus this is what you could do before. And anyone who wants to contribute to Spec 3, please make sure that you are taking time to onboard and reading through these 3 links, because you will need this information to even just know where to begin. So, okay, cool. And I know that Rohita's been very patient. Did you want to ask a question or something?
Yeah, I just had a normal question that since we are developing a part of our work under GSOD, under Spec 3, like addressing in Spec 3, there are still many other existing documents that are still going to be in Spec 2, right? So are we planning to like readdress them in Spec 3, or how is that going to work? I had this question last time, but I forgot to ask.
Yeah, that's a good question. So actually, I'm gonna click on here. Yes. So actually, these are all issues that me and Jonas were working to create to let us know what are all the updates that we need to make to our current docs to update them all to V3. So essentially, we're going to be removing all the documents that are outdated, that still are in line with V2. And then we will start replacing and updating one by one. And so Jonas has also created a to-do list where he identified like the order of steps and things that we're going to remove and update. And this is the list of all the updates that we need to make to the current live docs. So all of us who are participating in Spec 3 updates will be working in parallel with GSOD and the mentorship program. So for a little bit, it's going to be a little bit kind of funky for sure, because like the live docs still talk about 2.6. But since we all are aware, now we know that we should consult the migration guide and the other 2 links during this time. Does that help?
This list that you mentioned, this list that you mentioned that Lucas made, is it the same list that he showcased in the last meeting? He started off the meeting by showing that list where he had all these items of that, more like issues being tracked in a single PR that needs to be updated or something.
Oh, yes, Jonas was sharing that in the previous meeting. I thought you meant Lucas, so I was confused. So these are just, are you talking about these 3 links that Lucas gave us?
No. I'm talking about in our last Spec 3.0 docs meeting. We started off with actually Jonas sharing one of his PRs where he actually had a list of issues or topics that need to be added and removed or updated. We are migrating to Spec 3 now. So yes. I'm asking, is it the same list that you're mentioning about now, or?
Yes.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't really understand you at first. But yes, we're working in conjunction with the list that Jonas made. Okay. All right. Does anybody else have a question or something they want to walk through? Oh, this might be a short community meeting. Actually, while we're here, I have a quick brief question for you. Oh, sorry, give me 1 second. The puppy got his, I was gonna say his hands on something, but then I remembered he doesn't have hands. He got his mouth into something. Okay, so Lucas, I was wondering, do you remember how last year you made this really beautiful, gorgeous 4-point onboarding workshop, which is, still in the YouTube channel? And I have given that as onboarding material this year as well to all of our GSOD writers, and we'll be sharing for sure with the mentorship writers. But of course, it is still based on the old version. So something that we were wondering was, do you have any potential bandwidth to do a updated version of that video, or is it really a hard ask right now?
So 2 out of 4, they don't require update. But they're definitely like the one where I talk about features, it requires update. Also, the other one where I create the async API document from scratch requires update. The problem is that the video that I did last year, I could do it like a real time in a studio to add all these new features of 3.0, but tooling is not yet ready. So the video will be pretty, let's say, dry, raw, or however we call it.
But you're making it, so it's like
So I can definitely have a look. Like but it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna bring the only new so the first part about where I talk about features like publish, subscribe, bindings, etc. This part is more or less covered with release notes and the migration guide that I shared. The only thing that we are really missing is the creation of the whole async API document from scratch with 3.0. That I can have a look into. Like even if there's no studio, I can still kind of do it in the editor, do some mockups even maybe. I can definitely have a look, but I can't commit to any specific date.
And that's actually a really good point that you brought up, and thank you for reminding us that the first 2 videos are still relevant because it's you introducing EDAs, not just specifically our spec version. So good. So that's good news. People can still benefit from the first 2 videos, and you may have bandwidth to make one video for those topics, but for now, because we don't want you to obviously overcommit, which nobody should have to do that, I do think that we are very well covered with the lovely migration guide and the release notes blog post that Jonas and I released last week. So, okay, I just wanted to ask a question because it was brought up, and I knew that folks would want to know what you thought about that. Okay, cool. The other thing that I had another thought in my mind that I was like, poof, dying to share, but then Fran joined and my concentration just went out the door. I was like very ADHD moment, like, ooh, new face, what's going on? Wait, what was it talking about? Oh yes, Rakit, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, since it's like only one video about the creation of async API document or from the scratch is required, maybe even a blog about it or something that of that level would do, I guess, would help. Is that possible, or I don't know. I mean, why do we only have to want like a YouTube video? We could also do a blog, right? That would still be the same, I guess.
So I feel like in that case, we're already covered with the release notes blog,
Yeah.
at least to start.
Yeah, and if it comes to the this onboarding about like creating full async API document from scratch, to be honest, it's much easier to do a video than write a blog, because then I don't have to focus much on the text and grammar and stuff like that, and I just focus on showing stuff. And basically, when I speak, I can make grammar mistakes, but when I write it, then it's much more work. But I can definitely do, like, Fathom is now pretty useful. So I can plan. I just can't commit that I'll do something this or next week. But this month definitely I should be able to do it. To record a like a video where I create a 3.0 document from scratch, basing on the same document that we had for 2.0. And then with Fathom, I can record it, then it's transcripted. So if anyone wants to pick it up and create a blog post out of it, I'm like,
I'd be happy to do that. I mean, if you create a video, then I'd be more than happy to write a blog down based on it and then merge it into our website maybe. And also,
then it's even more motivating for me to record it. If you pick it
I
up.
mean, if I can give you this online stream, if you do the video, whenever you do it, I will pen it down in a blog by myself after you put out the video.
Okay, awesome.
And secondly, is it software or something that's blocking you from making a video? I couldn't get you right there.
No, it's not software. Just simply different commitments. And planning. Like I have to I just have to commit a few hours time of like sitting down, seeing what I recorded last year, rewriting the script to new version, and then record it again. Software, it's not a problem. Like luckily that licenses we have all of that access to. It's just time.
Yeah, because I was wondering if it's the software, then there are like 3 options that I had in mind that you can use, and that job then. So
no. Unfortunately, tools don't solve all the various problems, unfortunately.
But speaking of tools, I just want to make sure, Rohit, have you used the tool that Lucas mentioned, Fathom? Because it will be very useful for you in the blog post that you're volunteering.
I haven't used it yet, but since Lucas mentioned, now I will definitely try it out right after this live stream.
It's essentially an artificial intelligence tool. I know, big shocker in today's world. But so this one essentially like follows your video and generates a detailed notes outline of the content of the video. So it's better than a transcript, of course, because it's actually generating notes of the video. And so it'll make your work of writing the blog post much faster. It'll be a lot easier with a AI note taker for you.
Actually, the thing is, I mentioned to you earlier this week, remember that tool I built is being deployed in my MNC right now. So it's actually something very similar to this, where the user just gives the video ID of any YouTube video or any video for that matter. And the video is automatically, the audio is downloaded and it is completely transcribed. So you get the transcription and summary of it too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Forgot that you had mentioned that. That's cool.
What's the name of the tool?
It's an internal tool right now. It's being used in my organization only, but I have actually open sourced it. Wait, I'll share the link of my GitHub. It's not, yeah, I'll share the link. I've open sourced it halfway, but you can still check it out.
Oh, cool. I'm searching for something else meanwhile, and I'll share the link as soon as you give it to us.
Yeah, here, I'm dropping it in the chat.
Okay.
Here.
And
so all you do is just drop the ID of any YouTube video you want, and it'll give you the transcription and summary of it.
Oops. I think we have a question here. Do we have onboarding materials for Spec 3? Yes, they are the links above. Can't write. Yes. Okay, gotta get out of here before it's kind of weird to be watching myself in YouTube. But I will also be sharing that in Slack. for folks who may want to check out your tool. All right, cool. And the other thing I wanted to share here was just for Rohit. So Rohit, since you volunteered, and you can tell we're very excited that you volunteered to write a blog post for us, because we actually would love more blog post contributions because they're another great source of technical educational content. So that's why we're all very excited about another technical blog post. So really all you do is just go to website issues, you click new issue. And if you want to do a blog, would that be, wait, what happened to the blog suggestion? Something is different.
Right on the top.
Press on
It's
I'm
this.
right on the top.
What happened is that I'm blind. That's what happened.
It's
Okay.
the first
Oh.
one.
Oh my goodness. See, this is what Rahid and everybody else has to deal with me. Like, do you see what it's like for them, Fran, Lucas? Like, it's poor people. I'm sorry you have to deal with me. Like, I don't want to be in your situation, Rahid. It would suck. Okay, cool. So here we are. Rohit, who's doing the contribution, actually knows what he's doing. So I guess that's good. So then you'll just put your information there. And this is very exciting. And, you know, Arya or anyone else in the call, if you're getting any ideas of like, hey, you know, I actually have a topic that I'd like to see a blog post on. It's not out there yet. Well, write it yourself and team with us, and we can collaborate and we can write more useful blog posts. So if somebody else has another good documentation blog post topic or whatever, please let us know how we can help out. Okay. Oh, Rahit really wants to talk again. What's up?
On the contrary of another blog post, I was wondering if we had any blog post on our existing Doxer website talking about why we have to choose async API first of all over any other alternatives in the space like Kafka or RabbitMQ. Like, why not just go to them? Why we need to use async API, or how is ours different? What problem are we solving? Because I feel it is actually a common question that both me and Hridesh, both of us had. So both of us had the same question, like we could use Kafka or RabbitMQ to write. Why are we using async API, and why should we advocate people use async API? So I think that is like a very important blog post that needs to be put out. I don't know if it's already out there, which is why I'm asking if it's out, or should we write one?
There's nothing like this. There's just one blog post, auto blog post from Fran, where he clarifies the difference between async API and the cloud events, which is another spec. But I would say it's not even a blog. Actually, it's a document, like official document we should have in documentation, in my opinion, that actually explains like what's the difference between async API, schema registry, cloud events, Kafka, and all that stuff. Like explanation that like you still have to use async API if you use Kafka, and why. You still have to use async API even if you use cloud events, and why. Because in article it's gonna, not sure how you approach the articles, but it usually works in the way that, like, for example, when I open an article and I see article is like 2021 created or 2022, I just skip it. It's like in tech, it's for me, it's already way too old. But if it's in docs, we maintain it, we keep it up to date. So it can be blog, but the best if it's a documentation article.
Well, that is what I was wondering. So since we do not have any material like that right now, I mean, maybe we should consider adding a document like that, because like I said, both me and Hridesh had that doubt. I think pretty much it's like logical for anyone who's working with async API will get that doubt moving forward. So maybe having it in our docs will help any of the developers going forward.
So what I'm thinking is that since you already have, it looks like a clear idea of what you want to recommend we add, it would actually also help if you opened an issue, a new docs issue, and told us your contribution idea, because even if you don't work on this one, your idea, I think, is very relevant to what the mentorship program is working on, because the project for the mentorship group, the writer group anyway, is more documentation around different protocols and implementation with async API. So I think your question fits in very well with the area they're working in. And even you just contributing an issue that describes what we need to document would be very helpful to get the, I forget the word in English, but like, to get rolling, I think is what they say.
Got it. So should I be opening that issue under the docs template or the blog post session template?
No, that's docs. So this is an idea, like Lucas was saying, sure, that would be a good blog post, but it really sounds more like a good idea for the documentation instead. So I agree with him. I think that's a great contribution for the docs in this case.
All right, I'll open up an issue under the docs template then, and I won't commit to it right now because I'm already hands full. But down the line, maybe by the end of this GSOT program, if still no one has picked it up and worked on it, then I'll take it and work on it at the end of GSOT.
Yeah.
Or after.
And I
GSOT.
really like how smart you are in like knowing right away, oh, I don't want to overcommit myself. And I really value that a lot. So thank you so much for like knowing how much you can and can't do. And thank you for still having like new ideas and sharing with them. Because even if you don't do every idea, like it gives us another, other good stuff to try out. Okay, so I really love talking to you, Rahid, but I want to make sure we give other people also a chance, just in case anyone is feeling shy. So we know that's not your problem, Rahid. That is never your problem. Just in case, does anyone else in the call, like, I don't know, like maybe Benjamin or Arya, like, do you have any thoughts or comments on things you'd like to see in related to Spec 3 documentation or any questions? I want to say that I'm going to stare at you awkwardly until you say something, but since your cameras are turned off, like my threat doesn't work very well.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Alex. Did you want to say something?
Yeah. I was just going to say that I'd like to contribute to the blog, but at a later time too, because right now I'm preoccupied with GSOC. I'm working on Glee. So, but I would like to contribute to the I was talking to Suvik about it and he said he was going to talk to Lucas. So now that Lucas is here, I may just, and you should how to open a pull request for that. So I could do that. I'd like to contribute.
Did I hear you correctly that you were wondering how to open up a pull request to contribute a blog post?
Yeah. I was wondering how to do that. So I spoke to Suvik and Suvik said he was going to talk to Lucas for me. So you just clarified the air and everything. So yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
So I'd like to do that sometime.
Okay. And so you're feeling good to go?
Yeah, I'm feeling good to go. But right now I'm currently occupied with Glee. Yeah, I'm preoccupied with Glee. I'm working on Glee right now. So
nice.
Towards the end of the GSOC program, I would contribute. I'll do something.
Yes, you're because this year we're doing JSOC in partnership with Postman, right? I think is what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you for joining us in our call today.
Yeah, I was just curious to join because I've not joined any one of these things. So I was like, yeah, I should join.
Yeah, today is a little bit definitely more relaxed. The first time we did this call a few weeks ago, there were like a lot more people and a lot more questions. So this is probably a nicer experience for you because less like all these thoughts flying around. But yay, thanks for letting us know who you are, Alex. I was totally curious about, oh, is this a Spec contributor or I wonder who is this mysterious Alex? Because your name is like mine, like the English version of mine. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, cool. Fran, since you joined our meeting, do you have any like amazing ideas or perhaps words of encouragement you would love to give the community in documentation?
Not really.
Oh my
Thing is that, so I just want to mention that something that I'm doing and I want to keep doing is I'm holding meetings, like let's say spontaneous meetings whenever I find some spare time myself. So I just usually publish on the specification channel and let people know that. So folks, I have 30 minutes I'm gonna jump into a live stream, and if anyone wants to join and ask any questions, I'm happy to help now. So yeah, that I will keep doing that. But also, if you have some questions or anything around SNKPI3, whatever, just hit me up on the private messages, and I'll be happy to help. So yeah, that's all I can contribute now, right now. So that's all I can do.
Well, actually, that's very helpful, friend. And a few days ago, Ritesh shared with us the call that he had with you, where you helped him out, and he also expressed that it definitely was helpful to him. So thank you very much, because that's
problem.
very, like, I cannot emphasize enough what a big help that is. I would like to see more of that from our other Spec contributors. So thank you for putting a good example.
No problem. You actually inspired that from the last call, because yeah, I wasn't helping much. So yeah, I was like, okay, maybe if I cannot schedule a call up front, maybe I can just say, I have 30 minutes now. Maybe that's helpful for someone, and then we record it and upload it, and even more people will benefit from it. So yeah, it's more than nothing, right?
I can't believe that, like, my brainwashing also worked on Fran. Like, I even got through to Fran. Like, woof, nice. Like, my skills are getting better.
You're getting better.
Pat on the back for myself. Oh, I should give myself 2 pats on the back, because it was a very worthy accomplishment. But no, seriously, it's a very big help. And I've spoken about this a lot more recently, that it's a cultural change that all projects and all companies, I don't care if it's like for profit or not for profit, but like, it's a cultural change that is often a struggle, helping the technical writer not be in isolation on a deserted island, being told, here, play, let me know how it goes. Just play around with it, you'll figure it out. So actually having Spec contributors and engineers, collaborate more with technical writers as well, not only collaborate with engineers, is for sure a mindset change and an area of growth for us. So I'm very excited, because I did not expect, for example, Fran to have extra time to mentor. Like, Lucas loves mentoring and he does it a lot. We don't take it for granted, but like, we do more often expect, like, oh, Lucas, like, he'll probably say yes to mentorship, like he'll make time. And so it means a lot to see other people that don't usually have the time, like you, being like, you know what, I'm still gonna make time. Like, that really means a lot. So thank you.
The reality is I do a lot of mentorship, but the thing is that it's like, it's usually not so visible, because people come to me privately and things can stay private, right? So, and they've never recorded, they never published in any way. So yeah. So the cool thing about this is that it gets more visible. So that's cool. So yeah. And just want to mention that in general, many people work like this. Like, it's not that I don't want to work, that I don't want to help, but SNKPI is getting so big that it's overwhelming for everyone. So especially us that are in the, let's say, in the spotlight, can get overwhelming. So just speak up, because sometimes it's not that we don't want to help, it's just that we have too many things to do, or too many things around us, that we just choose to focus on this. But it's not that we don't want to help other people. Just, again, speak up, and we'll be happy to help or accommodate, or the best way possible. So yeah, speak up.
And
That's
I'd
never
like,
my problem.
and I'd like to emphasize how important it is to also like be aware that like getting technical input from someone who has knowledge, like technical written input, is much more difficult than actually asking them to speak. So just repeat what I already told to Rohit about this async API video, like that it's, in the end, it's much easier for me to record the video than actually write it down. Writing it down will take me much more time. So it's really much easier for like when you'll ask me and you see with Fran, like if you have some issue on the list that Alejandra shared at the very beginning, this long list of all the issues, like if you need help, then always suggest like, hey, I mean, I don't want to bother you writing down whatever technical input. I don't even have to hop on the call with you. Just please join Zoom on your own, get Fathom, record your answer, give your technical input, and yeah, that's already a Kickstarter, really.
Wait, so let me repeat that to make sure I understood you correctly. Are you also suggesting that another good idea to get the answers directly from the engineers is, in some occasions, you may not even both need to jump on a call. You could just throw your specific, well-written out question to the engineer, like no vague questions, please. Like, let's not make our engineers want to like themselves. Like be very specific, be very clear with the engineer, help the poor engineer out. And then they can record themselves a quick video and then just throw you the link out. You don't even need to schedule a call.
Yeah. And it's really, however that sounds, it's really much easier. For example, for me, like, for example, I have Richa in Google Summer of Code, and like she's like super up to speed, like delivering really quickly. We're having like feedback loop really quick. So, and sometimes I have to write a lot, and I'm like, my fingers are like burning. And I just, for example, learned to use Slack video recording because it's also doing transcript. So what I do is like, instead of like writing a text that you have to read for 2-3 minutes, a huge text, it's much, and especially with my grammar skills, it's much better for me to actually sometimes record a Slack video, explain something on the diagram or whatever. And then this video is like, of course, can be replayed very many times to understand the topic. So it's actually much easier than writing.
Well, thank you for throwing that idea out. I hadn't even thought of that idea myself. I love it when people think of things, and I'm not the only one with ideas. It's so much helpful when more people, more heads, more ideas. So then I'll make sure to also share that again offline with the whole GSOC group and the new mentorship group, because they may not all watch this video. And that's a really great idea. And I think it'll definitely make it even smoother for the engineers. Oh, Fran?
And just want to mention one thing, that vague questions are also allowed and are also welcome. So that's okay. You're not going to bother me with this. So, and I'm saying this because if we start by saying that no vague questions, please, then many people will not ask some questions because they think their question is not worth it, or is vague, or it's a stupid question. So no question is stupid, no question is vague, let's say. Maybe it's vague because you don't have enough knowledge, and maybe you need a generic answer, let's say, or a broad answer, not generic, but a broad answer. So yeah, vague questions are also allowed and welcome. So, and if I think it's too vague, I'll be happy to politely say that that's too vague. Can you please be more specific? And that's it. So, but don't stop yourself just because you think a question is vague. Just ask.
Yeah, that's a good point. We always want to watch out, because we know that people who like when we're feeling shy or when we're feeling imposter syndrome, it's just another good excuse to not reach out. We're like, well, no, now if I ask a question, I'm going to sound not intelligent enough, or like I'm not working hard enough. So then you just freeze and you don't reach out. So to clarify, when I say don't be vague, be helpful with the engineer, here's what I mean by that. Don't just send a message to, I don't know, Fran or whoever and be like, yo, Fran, yo, Jonas, I'm working on the request reply document. Where do you think I should begin? Like, that's what I mean by like, that's a little bit very vague. Like, but maybe really take the time to think about what's your specific question. Because what I often notice is that when people feel like scared of the topic and they don't really know what questions to ask yet, they'll just kind of like throw the first thing that comes up in their mind. So I still want to challenge our writers to take a few more minutes of thought and think, wait, actually, what do I really want to ask? Like, I already know that Fran is not scary. He's not gonna get mad at me. I can ask him questions. Never mind, quick, Fran. Like, we know Fran is gonna be a nice mentor and he means well. So I have, relax, take the time to think about what your question is. And if you don't know how to phrase your question, like Fran said, that's totally okay. But do make sure that you're taking the time to think about what specific help do I need? Because often as writers, it's a struggle to go from writer's block to determining your outline. So this is also part of the process, really figuring out what your questions are. And Maya joined officially in the call. I think I saw on YouTube, but hey Maya, how are you? Oh, she's muted, but hopefully she's great.
I'm fine. How is everybody?
Good. Wait, what time is it over there where you're calling us from, Maya?
It's 4:19 p.m.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like super late at night. That's fine. I'm not worried about you. You're fine. Just out of curiosity, are you dying to expand from design into documentation, or as a designer, are you curious about how Spec 3 changes in docs could potentially have relevant collaboration with design?
Actually, I'm curious about a lot of stuff here. I just joined because I want to know what you guys are talking about. I just don't want to be like, oh, it's just design. I want to know about the spec, the docs, but I'm still exploring.
Oh, cool. I mean, that's really smart because, I mean, the more knowledge you surround yourself with, the more you're going to improve and the more you're going to do better as a designer. For sure, the more technical knowledge you have, the better the designer you will be. So like win-win all around. But Maya, we really need designers in our org. So like, don't stop designing because we have a lot of engineers, but we need designers. We need more designers.
No problem.
Okay. Like I was like, yes, welcome to docs, but please don't leave design. Okay, we need you in design. Can you imagine putting Lucas in design?
I'm here to stay forever.
Okay, cool. And we are pretty much almost done with the hour. Did anyone have anything else they wanted to cover or discuss? Oh, Lucas?
Yeah, just to like an update. So on the last meeting, or actually, last meeting, I mentioned that there would be a problem with migrating the tutorials that are based on Node.js template. So like the good news is the mentorship program started. I already picked a mentee, and Rishi like come on, like this guy. So he already actually POC'd a rewrite of the template to the latest greatest React render engine. So once we have really a JSON schema for like final JSON schema for Async API 3.0 and like parser updated, like having release candidate in the parser, then like rewriting Node.js template to have it at least for tutorials, it's gonna be a quick win. So we should be covered with these tutorials. And I'll coordinate with you whenever it's possible to jump into the docs. And the other topic is like I already posted in the docs channel, like because there's a lot of like especially with so many now mentees in docs, like there's so many issues and so many PRs with docs prefix that I'm sorry for that, but I decided to ignore and not look out into them by default, because that's what I was usually doing as a maintainer, looking on every pull request and issue, trying to help proactively, but I can't do it anymore. Like, so I have to be reactive. Like, so whenever there's you want to contribute to an issue, you're picking it up and you need to some technical input, then I have to be explicitly like pinged. I watch my notifications from GitHub. So if you just ping me in the GitHub, that's fine. You can DM me, that's also fine. But yeah, just remember I switched to reactive approach than proactive.
To be honest, that's kind of been me for a while. So it's like, what? I just feel like I really identified with what you said. So thank you for calling it out again to make sure that we don't miss it, because that's important to be aware of how different collaborators prefer for you to like reach out to them. You know, it helps if you keep up with their preferences. I will make sure to relay that again to the rest of the mentorship group and the GSOT group, just in case they didn't happen to watch today's video or go to the docs channel and read your message. Okay, cool. And thank you for giving us the update about the Node.js template and Glee and how that was going to shape up. So thank you for that. We have 6 minutes left. Is there anything else that somebody would like to bring up?
You brainwashed Lucas, didn't you?
What?
You brainwashed Lucas, didn't you? He's become reactive, like, oh.
Yeah, what? Sorry.
What's the joke? What?
Lucas went from being proactive to reactive, like Alejandra. Like, she's brainwashed you.
Oh, I brainwashed Lucas as well.
That's 4 people now.
That's the thing. Like, it doesn't work if people realize you're doing it. You know, you have to keep quiet about it. Fran, because you joined late the call, but at the very beginning, what was it exactly? Like, I think where he was saying that he was really enjoying the experience, or he was saying something positive about something that he was liking about the GSOT experience and working with me or whatever. And so I was just telling Lucas, like, see how well I brainwashed them all? They're all saying that they love working for me and that they love working with Alejandra and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I've done a good job. I'm like, and what are you going to say when we go live? What are you going to say? Okay. Yeah, I have a very dark sense of humor. So everyone knows I'm kidding, I hope. Okay. Anyway, enough jokes, Alejandra. Any other points, or are we excited to have 4 minutes of our life back? I think everybody's excited to get 4 minutes back. Okay, cool. Well, everyone who joined, and especially for those that are not even right now contributing to docs, like Maya, wow, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate community involvement and all of us wanting to collaborate together. Thank you so much. And a big thank you as well to some of the other leaders joining the call, like Lucas and Fran. We all are very aware that they're super busy. And yet they still joined the call, which means that they are giving priority to docs and they are showing that they value our writers in the community. So definitely a big thank you to Lucas and Fran for being a good leader. Okay, calm down. Okay. Nobody said anything about a medal either. Oh, I'm 2 months or what? 2 years. Oh, wait, is your baby 2 years old now already? Oh, I don't know. In my mind, I totally just thought she was still like under a year, like, I don't know, 6 months or something like that. Never mind.
Look at my eyes and my hair. So that's no hair. I mean,
what hair?
Exactly. Look at my no hair. So that's clearly 2 years, plus 3 other years of open source. So
and then like this one here is me, probably. Like this is Alejandro.
Yeah, wait for it.
Right here.
Having a kid is no challenge comparing to open source.
Exactly. It's nothing. It's easy.
Oh God. Okay, cool. Well, I don't want to like bug people who are excited to go on with their day. So thank you everyone and have a good rest of your day. See you in 2 weeks.